Welcome back to another amazing episode of the Pokemon Go Third Shield PvP podcast. Guys, in this episode, I have the one, the only, the Nut. If that sounds amazing, make sure to stay tuned because he's an amazing player and I cannot wait to pick his brain a little bit because I believe so far every season he have hit rank 10 and he's doing amazing this season as well. So without further ado, please welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thank you, Daniel, for having me here. And congrats on your rank 10 run yesterday.
That is correct. I actually been striking my pose everywhere when I go to a restaurant.
Perfect.
Right here at the bus stop. Wherever I go, I use my pose.
Yeah, you have to. It's an amazing pose. And you deserved it, running a unique team.
Yeah, so I actually, you know what I used? It's called it's signature team, I should say. It's called the Heavy Damage. If you saw it, you know what I'm talking about.
Perfect. It was a great team and a unique team, so very well-deserved run.
Thank you very much. So what I wanted to ask you right away, how have you been doing this season so far? And compared to all the other seasons, do you like this one the least or the most?
I hit rank 10 in Master Premier this time. It was my first time playing Master Premier because I sometimes have the goal to hit rank 10 in different leagues. And so far I hit it in Great League, in Open Master, in Open Ultra, and now Master Premier. So I hope to continue that at some point in Ultra Premier or another league. So yeah, I hit rank 10 like I hit it every season for now.
That's awesome. Congratulations, because first of all,
Thank you.
That's huge. I know that because I struggled pretty hard to get, well, first of all, the first 3 seasons, I didn't even know what's effective or not effective. So that's, so that was rough. But what do you expect from season 5 going into from season 4? Because I feel like, so we talked about this a few times, but I feel like season 5 is like a preseason to season 6. But I just want to know your opinion and what you are hoping to get out of it.
I just hope to get some content out of it, honestly. I wasn't very hyped when they announced the cups. I mean, the Kanto Cup seems legit. Okay, there's a meta and all, and we can use Pokemon we already powered up. But the other two feel like, okay, you have to waste Stardust to compete for 1 week. And that's not the right way in a global pandemic, in my opinion. So we have this little cup with a bronzer where you need a ton of Stardust to power it up, and other things you will just use for 1 week and then you'll never do again. So not really hyped for the little cup and the catch cup. The Kanto Cup I will have fun with, but the other two, let's see.
I agree with you, and I hope that they see this, Niantic, that what's our opinion on it, because I think this could be like balanced, in a way that let's say the rewards will offset the cost, or you get like a pose, you get like, I don't know, you get like a trophy that you hold up for a pose when you win the cup or whatever it is, but something that would offset, all the spending. For these 1 week cups, because you're right. Even if you do really well and you reach rank 10, the reward at the end of the season won't offset the cost that it cost you to reach that rank 10 at all whatsoever. Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. Yeah.
I mean, I like that they do team cups because this open thing that gets boring at some point. When you have the same meta again and again and again, you face the same things again and again and again. It's at some point you hit rank 10 and then it's just, yay, what do you do for the rest? And maybe at some point you're not even motivated to hit rank 10 anymore because it's always the same. So teams cups are a big improvement, but they have to work at it how they implement them.
I agree. And I'm happy to hear from you actually, because obviously you're a very respected player and a very great player. So to hear somebody like you say that this is a good direction, that just makes me happy, and I hope that many other people feel the same way. What I want to ask you too is that, so obviously we heard like the rumors where even Niantic has confirmed, and we right away just jump into this. But they said that their goal is esports, and their dream is actually Olympic style of gaming. So not only they said, esports, which is already like a huge jump for them, but they went one step further and said Olympic style gaming, which I don't know what it means, but what do you think about that, and what's your opinion on it?
I mean, Olympic style sounds very huge, like the biggest thing you could have. So I'm curious to see that. Um, the thing is, I mean, that's also an improvement that they say this, because many in the community weren't sure about that way. When people said, okay, we want this to be an esport, so many people said that's not the goal of Niantic. They want to create something casual, everyone can play, and that's it. So it's a very big announcement, of course. The thing is, we're miles away from that. Because to have an esport, I know you have the example with League of Legends, which went horrible in the first season. They had to cut off the World Championship because it didn't work. The game just lagged out. And we're at the same stage with Niantic. I'm curious to see if they can manage it like Riot Games did with League of Legends, or if it is just a dream. I'm not sure how long the whole community will play the game to make it happen, because right now most of us are there for the community, which is totally awesome, and not for the game itself, because it's disappointing at many points. I mean, for the newer players who don't know the game other than not working, we had great times in 2019 before GBL. We had a functional game, and it was a pleasure to play Silph and meet the people. But this year was kind of horrible, and I'm curious to see if they can manage it. I don't want to say I don't believe in them, but I'm also not too positive.
You know what you're saying. I really hope that somebody from them actually hears this, because this is like an honest opinion for the community. I feel like everybody feels similarly the way you are feeling, including myself. I can agree with you. So I just really hope they see this too, because I agree. So most of us not here for the game, to be honest. It's really the community. It's actually really growing really well, and I really enjoy being part of it. And I have never played any game that had a community like Pokemon Go before,
Absolutely.
besides one game. Back in the day when I very first started playing video games, it was in 2003 or something, or one maybe. It's called Star Wars Galaxies, and if anybody knew or heard about it, that had a community like this, but it disappeared because the company, hopefully it doesn't happen here, destroyed the game by getting rid of the community perspective of it. But so hope it doesn't happen here, and I'm just happy to hear what you said. Now, what I wanted to find out is that, so you started streaming, obviously, and you're creating content now. So what first of all, what's your schedule so people can actually find you, and when they can find you, and what's your goal with the content creation and streaming so far?
I'm currently working on a schedule because my new semester, I study on college for politics and German. My new semester just started, and I have to figure out when the best times are. But I will stream around 4 to 5 times per week, mostly in the European afternoon, so like 5 p.m., which should be 11 a.m. Eastern, if my maths is correct. So yeah, you asked about my goals, right?
Yes.
Yes. My goal in streaming is just having fun. That's really the only goal I have, and I have so much fun doing it. I'm on Twitch now for around a month, and it was such a great time. I couldn't stream earlier because I didn't have a good internet connection, and my PC was bad, but I built a new one just to try it out. And God, it's so damn much fun. The community is awesome. The chats are awesome. They make jokes with you. They rage with you if the game doesn't work. It's it's just pure fun. And I want to make collaborations with other streamers a bit more. Right now, I did some with Tactical, who I know for over a year now because of Silph. He lives in a different country, but we met several times, and I can just call him friend. But yeah, there are other awesome content creators I want to make duos with. That's mainly the goal. Have fun and interact with this awesome community.
That's awesome. I hope lots of people feel that way. And also, yeah, the stream. It's just your stream and the streams to jump on. You can just actually feel the actual excitement of it and also the sadness of it as well. But and the rage. Yeah, let's not forget the rage. But
Yeah.
but what so I wanted to ask you this very upfront, but let's just jump into it now. So two things. Where are you from for the audience, and where did the name TheNut came from?
Okay. I'm from Germany, living in the southwest there, a city called Mainz with around 200,000 inhabitants. Not that big, but we have one of the biggest communities, poker communities in whole Germany. And yeah, the PvP community here was really great, but it all fell asleep with Corona now, sadly. But we still have a few players playing GBL and Silph. And my name is not sexual orientated like some people think. It's honestly just my last name in German. My name is Nuss, which is called Nut. That's it. But obviously I'm the Nut, the one and only. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Now we cleared it out, so now everybody knows. Hopefully they listen to the podcast as well. If you would put it to vote, if only could Germans vote, what do you think? Who would win? You don't have to answer if you don't want to. Between who is the best player out of Germany if you just have two choices, you or Jankus?
For people being into Silph, it's obviously me. For the streamers community, I mean, Jankus is just a really great player and very talented. I wish he would do some Silph, but I know it's the time. And but he would have potential there. So I don't really want to answer that question at all because I don't think there should be a rivalry. It's just about having a good time.
Should we say that you are the two best ones from Germany?
I mean, there's also Big ML who has.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yes,
he has great playing moments. I enjoy his streams. So, I mean, you speak up a good point. I'm always bothered with because people call me top player or call others top player or really the best players out there and so on. I don't think we should do that. Mm-hmm. They're amazing, great battlers all around. But I think the difference between an average player and the greatest players isn't that big because, in my opinion, nearly everyone can reach the really high level if they spend their time. Mm-hmm. If they learn their matchups. As you said, the first 3 seasons you didn't even know type effectiveness. Yep. And suddenly now you're ranked 10. Awesome. It's just learning the basics, and then if you have the basics, if you know, okay, I need 5 bubbles on Azu for the Ice Beam and 6 for the Play Rough, but only 5 for the next Play Rough. And if you have all these basics, it's not really much that differs the top players between others. So yeah, I don't really like the term top players, but obviously Jankus is a really good guy. And I'm a good player, and Big ML is a good player, so I don't want to choose someone.
No, I that's what I was hoping that you're gonna say. So I'm happy that you said that. And yes, I actually forgot that how many amazing players are out from Germany. So now I actually feel better that, oh wow, okay, so never mind. But What do you expect for season 6? As far as, I don't know if you heard the rumors, but there will be 24 rankings, right? If I remember correct. And supposedly the competitiveness or the points wouldn't even come into effect until I think rank 21 or something, if I read it
Yeah,
correctly.
yeah. The first
So
20 should
do
be.
you have any opinion on it, or what do you think?
I mean, it sounds a bit more competitive than it is right now. I expect rank 20 to be the rank 9 from the current seasons, but the other 4 ranks sound pretty interesting, and maybe they give some rank 10 players some motivation to climb higher, because for most of us, me included, it's just okay, hit rank 10 and then do some weird challenges, do some weird stuff. I mean, Yonkers played with Party Head Wormhole in Master League, and I maxed out Bibarel for that, and we both won games with it, just to have some fun. So I think these aspects would fall a bit down, because we would maybe start to care about these 4 ranks after 20. And it also sounds like they want to have the elite battlers up there to fight for some places in a potential esport environment, maybe. So I'm interested and curious, but I hope these fun challenges will still somehow appear, because they are the real fun.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well for the esports and everything. But then, my only concern is, so already at rank 10, even myself, who is not as high ranked or anything, but the queue times are horrendous. So what is it gonna be at if somebody reaches rank 24 all of a sudden, or between rank 21 to rank 24? I don't know how they're going to fix the queue times, or how to align with players, that are online and the same ranks, when we're only gonna have a few hundred of those players possibly. You know what I mean? So I'm interested to see how is that going to work.
I mean, it's the same as in every game, I guess, with leaderboards and rank queues. If you have a big player base, you will have shorter queue times. If there are only a few hundred in that, it will be horrible. But I mean, if you are in the highest League of Legends ranked, I also think you have 20 minutes queue times or something like that. Yeah, I'm not sure if they can fix it, because obviously they can't pair a rank 23 player with a rank 13. That wouldn't make any sense. I mean, we also had that in season 1 and 2, I guess, when higher ranked players paired with lower ranks. That was the reason why dodging came up and so on, because the higher ranked, they had nothing to win. If they win, they gain no points. If they lose big points. That's also not good. So I don't know how you should fix that besides having a big player base.
Yeah, speaking of dodging, I never experienced that until I was very close to rank 10, only one set away from it, and it was such a hard time to get queued up. And oh my god, I don't even know how many dodgers I have seen. I didn't believe it. But anyways, get back to that. So that brings up a good point, what you said about League of Legends and queue times, and that makes me think that maybe Niantic sees this as an opportunity and creates a system style, a similar style like to what do you call it, Silph Arena, because if you're between rank 21 to 24, you might actually have to organize your battles. So it's almost like you would actually have to queue up with people at the same time to able to defeat them. So you are, let's say, the number 1. You know what I mean? Something like that. So I can actually see that, because just to like pull up your phone, if you're, let's say, rank 24 and this is the playoffs or championships or whatever we're going to call it, and then you just queue for 45 minutes, that might, not work.
That kills everything.
Yeah.
That's interesting. What I could potentially see there is something like, okay, you're in rank 23 and you try to queue up, and there comes a screen that says, okay, 45 people in rank 23 are queuing up exactly this time now. So you might have chances. Or when you queue up and there's only one or none, you maybe try later. That would be potentially something that can fix that, but also not really fix it, honestly, because I don't know how many players will be in rank 21 to 24, because I don't know what you need for being there. If season 6 is 2 months long and you need 300 wins to get it rank 20, there won't be that many, obviously. So I don't know if they can fix queue times with this relatively small player base. They should give us more motivation to play Go Battle League, so other people join as well.
You know, I've been thinking about that. You make a really good point because, well, two things. I don't think they're gonna give us too much motivation until they fix all the lags. Because think about this. Think about this. Let's say everything is. I mean, it's not perfect. So let's say they decide all of a sudden, all right, warm up to esports. The winner of season 6 will get $10,000, which, by the way, is nothing for them whatsoever. So they could just like do this. All right, 10 grand. So they can easily do that. However, I think the only reason they are not doing those things is because, think about this. Let's say you are battling me, for example, and obviously you are way more talented than I am in the Go Battle League. But let's say because of lag or whatever reasons or just desync, whatever happens, I actually win, right? And then there's maybe a dispute or whatever, and some people would even do like small claim courts, maybe lawsuits, because I won 10 grand and you have lost. So that would create a whole nightmare for Niantic when money is involved. So I think that's why they're pushing esports as far away they can until this whole situation is fixed. And the same with the rewards, because our rewards are horrendous. I mean, we get nothing, besides the post.
I mean, we get pretty much Stardust.
Yep.
When I tuned in your stream, I also saw that you made 6.5 million Stardust at all out of Go Battle League. There are players out there that don't grind and so on, and they made 6.5 millions in 4 years.
That's
and
true,
now you
that's
can
true.
get it from battling. I mean, I also agree with you. Without getting rid of all the lags and bugs and all these things, there is no esport possible. We don't really have to talk about that. They have to fix their game before anything there happens. And I mean, the employees of Niantic and the bosses, they aren't dumb people. They have something in their head. So, I mean, sometimes we don't see that. Sometimes they just do things that don't make any sense to us. But I mean, if they talk about esports now, they are aware that their game doesn't work as it should. If they talk about esports now and give us the perspective, they seriously have to work on lags and stuff and things. The problem is, I don't know how they work on it, because between us reporting a problem, they getting aware of it, and they finally fixing it, we had times where it needed 4 months. And that's kind of not acceptable. Because especially if you want to go in esports direction, if you need 4 months to fix a single bug and potentially create 2 others, it's just not acceptable. It can't work.
Yeah, I agree with you. And just one additional thing to that is, if all that fixed and they bring in the crazy rewards, I think the player base will blow up and the news will pick it up. Because it's just such a crazy thing. Pokemon is blowing up anyways, but to think about it, that people could actually make money with Pokemon, catching Pokemon and battling, I think the news would blow it up and the player base would just start coming in, just like back in when it was first released. That's what I'm thinking it could do to it.
I mean, as soon as money is included, everything blows up in this world.
Yeah, true.
So I totally agree. But yeah, I mean, they have to fix the problems before they do that, because even the most motivated players will be gone if winning money doesn't rely on skill, but just on, okay, I lag less. That's not possible.
Exactly. So what do you think? You have hit obviously rank 10 every season. So the question that I have to you is that what do you think that allowed you to able to hit rank 10 every season and do so well in Silph as well? Do you think you have a special skill, just time that you put in, or any of the combination of that, or maybe a different grinding for daily, or what do you think that makes you different, that allows you to able to be a very consistent player?
As I said before, I don't think there's much difference between the higher players and the average players. It's mostly just the knowledge. And I have a lot of damn knowledge about moves and typings and so on. Also, when my girlfriend got into Silph and didn't know the typings, we went out grinding and walked our route, and we practiced typings just the whole day. Full 3 hours, I asked them, okay, what's effective against this? And what's effective against that? And how much energy do you need to fire that move? And how much energy does this generate? So we both spend a damn lot of time. And I think that's the factor. If you're willing to spend time, you can just have the whole basic thing, and it's not really that much more. There's some advanced mechanics, but Niantic constantly gets rid of that, which is okay in my opinion. And then what makes a difference is creativity, I guess, in team building, because especially in Silph, I mean, GBL, it's not that competitive format. It's just this blind expert. Either you face something you can win, or you face something you will lose, like grass hole. Haha, fun. Nothing you can do there. But yeah, the thing is the creativity there, which allows you to overcome maybe a bad matchup. Maybe you find something that breaks the meta. As your heavy damage team, it obviously functioned well in this meta. I mean, you can always play around some things as well. You can do sack swaps, but it's also not possible if you don't have the knowledge. You can't really sack swap when you don't know, okay, now he has that move. You can try, sometimes you're lucky and it works, sometimes, or more often not. So counting is a big thing. I very early started counting moves, which got me pretty far. And also PV poke. Oh God, I love PV poke. I love Matt. And getting into the Sims was maybe the biggest advantage I had in the early times, because you have to read deep in the Sims. If you have a matchup which is pretty close, I mean, the best example is Claydol against Steelix, was back in Sinister Cup in October 2019. Claydol loses this matchup horribly with 250 rating. It's really horrible. But give it one confusion advantage and it wins the 2 shield with 750. So it turned completely around. And I figured out many people didn't know that. And it was my sack swap. And many people switched in Steelix into that. I spent 2 shields, got around out of it with a Half-Life Claydol and won the game. And these are the small differences, which makes a very good player better than a good player.
Now that right there, I just want to spend a minute highlighting what you just said, because you literally just explained exactly what you just said. A good player, the difference, a good player between a very good player, because that right there, everything you said, so many people, including myself in preseason, not season 1, because after preseason I learned the hard way, that's how it actually works. Because first, when you first jump in, I don't even know the Pokemons or anything like that. I only know the first 100, right? And then Pokemon Go already had all these other ones. So when I see a Swampert, and then Swampert generates energy so quick, the first time I ever faced it, I thought that's impossible. How did I do that? You know what I mean? So I didn't know how it works. So what you explained with your girlfriend, how you guys learned and practice, that makes a huge difference, because most people at first, including myself, I'm guilty of this. I just said that, oh, that's either cheating, that's either an advantage or a Pokemon or whatever it is. But the point is, I didn't believe that skill. I thought it's something else. So once I learned and practiced, I understood how it works. But which brings me to my next question is, what do you have to say, or what do you think, what would be a good message to new players who are starting out, and maybe they were like me, who have no idea how this works, from super effectiveness to counting moves and all those things, because it could be so overwhelming. Everybody says Pokemon Go battles is like chess, but I mean, imagine chess with typings, with effectiveness, and all those things. This would be really complicated.
I mean, also in chess, you have different figures who move different. Of course, you have to learn that as well. But it's kind of similar, because also in Pogo, you don't need the big reflexes to, okay, like in League of Legends again, you have to click 11 times per second to be really good there. That's not the case in Pokemon. Most things is really just knowledge, and a bit playing skill is there as well. I mean, there's a reason why House Stark is so good in executing his strategies, because he's really talented in mechanics and this thing. There are a few you have to master, but after that, it's pure knowledge. And it's difficult to give an advice to newer players, honestly, because everyone learns different. I just learned them by heart. I'm really good at learning by just looking at it, and I have it in my brain. Others maybe need hours to get the energy generation of one move. So it's really difficult to say, okay, do this and you will succeed. You just have to find your way, how you get that into your mind, and then there's nothing that could really stop you by getting just better. You will get better every day. And I mean, for GBL, it's important to have the meta, to know the meta. It's not important to know Dunsparce's move for GBL. You won't face them. Okay, maybe you played against me. I played it just for fun. And it ran through some people because they didn't know. But yeah, if you know the basic meta, you're automatically kind of doing well in GBL. And the one advice I can give to newer players is just don't get discouraged by lags and bugs. They will disappear at some point, and maybe we'll have a great game then. I say this because I sometimes imagine I'm a new player and I start to play this game because I have a friend that said, okay, try it out. And maybe I would win some game, and then there's constantly bugs and I lose. I would lose motivation within 3 days. And as soon as this is fixed, we can really talk about getting a really big player base.
I agree with that. And what would be, so this season, or any season, I guess, for that matter, what do you think, what was your spiciest team? Not necessarily just from the looks of it, but like you actually enjoyed playing with it and accomplished something great with that spicy team. What would that be?
It was definitely my Shadow Executor pick in Ultra Premier, which was a lot of fun. I originally wanted to play that last season when Ultra Premier came up the first. When Yonkers made his pretty popular Venusaur Galate team, because Shadow Egg countered them both. But then Desynced happened, and I took a break because it hit me so hard. I couldn't win any games because I lost 10 fast moves per game. So yeah, I took a break and played it this season, and I saw a bunch of people adapting to it or picking it, and it was a lot of fun to play. My original team was Toxicroak, Lead, Egg, Safe Swap, and Lapras. But somehow then really many Amax and Obstagoon appeared after I made it a bit popular. So it wasn't fun in the end to play it anymore because you got hard counted by it. But the first days was awesome.
Yeah, that sounds actually really awesome. And I can add to that Desync because I used with my heavy damage team worked so well on. It was so crazy because so one day I count exactly, and I explain to the people that I can take X amount of Dragon Breaths and Dragon Claws from a Giratina with Armored Mewtwo. This is my tactic, and it works every time because they don't know that. And then, so I did that, and then the next day I come stream, and on the stream I could not do it. I could not take 2 from it, and I was like, "What the hell is going on? I cannot throw off my second move. I can only throw 1." And then that's when I went on Twitter, and then I saw, actually, I think you, and then many people talking about Desync, and I was like, "Okay, now it makes sense."
It was honestly the most horrible experience I had with this game so far. And I made it through every bugs we had. But this one hits the good players or the higher ranked players the hardest because, I mean, another part of the knowledge is energy management. You have to know, okay, I can do 5 more quick moves and then I have to throw my energy, otherwise he will reach another move. And we play around this and go to the maximum. And that got destroyed by Desync because you couldn't do it anymore. You wasn't sure, okay, I can do 4 more moves because maybe you missed 2. And that made a good playing impossible. And I mean, we talked a lot about it on Twitter. And many people said, "Oh, don't cry too much. It's just Pogo." Yeah, you talk about high level skill play that it's not possible, but my win rate went from around 65% to 43% within Desync, and people told me Desync isn't the reason why you lose. Yeah, okay, good talk, people. Keep it up. It was horrible, and I hope we won't face that again.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. And yes, that definitely changes the game because my team became useless too at that time, and I took a break as well when that happened. So I 100% agree with you that your win rate changes because, and not because I lost also, but because I actually experienced it, and I can clearly point it out on the stream live that, look, I'm not able to do this. And just watch my stream from yesterday, I was able to do it, and then now all of a sudden it's gone. And then it was back to back.
Yeah, and the people complaining there and saying that doesn't affect that. These are the people, I mean, that don't have the knowledge. They didn't spend the time to get into the game to really understand it, but they talk about it. And yeah, you have to get over it and just hope they fix the bugs.
So far, which season was your favorite, and what would be like one thing if you could change in this game, or any, and not necessarily Pokemon, not necessarily the Go Battle League, but anything in this game, you could change something. What would that be?
I can't really say what my favorite season was because I don't really remember the differences, honestly. As I said, the whole open thing feels so similar every time, every season. I think my best season was last season when I had this 2 weeks break due to desync and still gained 700 points in Open Master with just Landorus. I think I was the first playing it. And it was so much fun because it hard counted the core meta, and nobody knew what to do against it. I mean, it's a ground flying type, and I had so many opposing Groudons going straight Earthquake, which I double resist. Didn't happen that much this season because people learn and get better, so that's awesome. But yeah, I think that was an awesome run in this Master League with the 700 points. And my maybe favorite. And what I would change in this game is communication. That's the biggest thing I would change because the communication part of Niantic is so poor in so many situations. When the community rages and there comes nothing back or maybe way too late, and I hope the community will just keep it up. Things might get better, and I'm scared of that day where it is enough for our community and we just leave. That will be deadly for just the game which lives from this community.
Yeah, that I really don't want to see that. So let's hope that changes. And that's a really good point. You made a really good point and a really good change. I hope they see this and hear this, because I
But
think
that's
you're a
why.
very honest player. Yeah, go ahead. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's what you said. I got it. So we can wrap this up soon, because I know you're about to stream, right? By the way. Yeah.
But no worries, no pressure.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Sorry if your stream was late, because our podcast just. I know you're gonna watch this later than the stream that's coming up, but still, I apologize. So, what I wanted to also find out from you is that because Stardust obviously is a currency that goes very quickly. So, do you have like any secrets or any daily grinds for it, or anything that you do or manage differently, or you wish you would actually do? Because, like I said, Stardust is like this.
Stardust is a really interesting topic. I have to tell the story at New Year's Eve 2019, from 2018 to 19. I was bored of the game. I was kind of hardcore grinder. Made my back then 5,000 catch per week at least, which was a lot of, because you only caught 130 these times. Now you can catch 400 per hour, and it's easy. But back then I was so bored and said, okay, I need a new motivation to start grinding. I will spend all my dust, and I spent 13 million dust at one hour. And 4 days later, someone in my community said, okay, we start PvP now. And I was, damn, I have 0 dust. And it was not 0, I had 46 dust left. That's all.
Oh
And
my God. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that's like, I feel the pain. Like right now I can actually feel the pain.
Mm-hmm. But it gave me motivation to start grinding again. And I did it a lot. I'm at 360,000 catches now. That's the reason why I have so many Pokemon ready for all the leagues. I have 450 Pokemon with a second move and ready for PvP and so on. The current thing is many people can't go out and grind. That's a big problem right now. I mean, we can still use the incense. Another bad topic why Niantic had to nerf them. I mean, they're still viable. You still get enough Pokemon, but not a good move. I see many people just going out for shiny checks. And I think that's a real problem for them with managing Stardust, because if you shiny check, you don't catch them. And every Pokemon you don't catch is at least 100 Stardust you will miss. And that adds up. I mean, there are several mechanics where you can really fast catch. With the AR catching, I don't know if you know it. You know it, good. You can catch a Pokemon within 4 seconds. And if you add that up, it's nearly 15 Pokemon per minute. That's 1.5 thousand dust. Adding up to 1 hour, that's nearly 100,000 dust. If you have the spawns, do that. Don't just shiny check and go off if you have Stardust problems. And also berry feeding, honestly. I don't see many people berry feeding, but the amount of Stardust I get out of berries at least was huge. And also do your GBL sets, do your daily GBL sets. They gave a lot of Stardust.
Yeah, those were really good tips actually, because the berry feeding, there's this, I have meetings set up like daily at this coffee shop where it's sitting between 4 gyms I can reach. So while I'm waiting there, I can just like do this.
Yeah, perfect.
Berry feed, that's it.
I mean, it's only 2,000 Stardust per half an hour.
Yep.
But if you do it constantly, it will add up. I know so many people just throwing away their berries, and that's wasted Stardust.
Yeah, and it takes just as long, by the way, to throw away the berries.
Yeah.
Okay, a little bit less, but still.
Yeah.
So you mentioned what was it? The Stardust and spent. Well, first of all, that's again just to point out, that's crazy that you had that much Stardust and spent it all. But now you must have lots of maxed out Pokemons for sure. So that's good for rating.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I had them before, but the big legendaries, I have 6 maxed out. I have 12 maxed out Rayquaza and all this stuff. And yeah, of course, we can use it for raids, which also gives Stardust. Yay.
Yeah, yeah. Which is a little low, but yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
you can do
definitely.
tons of raids. Oh, so one thing I want to bring up, because one thing is concerns me just a little bit, because it's not it's like haunting me every time I look at the updates from Niantic or look at the game on the boost, because you said they nerfed the instance. And there's one thing that still like bothers me, and the way they say it, the language that they use on Twitter or every season when a Go Battle League comes out in the blog post, and that is that one sentence that says there is the what, I forget what it says exactly, but basically what it says is that you don't have to walk to unlock the battles. So
Mm-hmm.
they keep leaving that in there, and that's just like a little knife in your back moving a little bit, because it sounds like in one day they're going to bring that back in some way or some degree. And I think that will be devastated for the community, for streaming, for so many things. So I really hope they see that. What do you think?
Maybe I don't give the answer you like, but at first I saw an interview months ago where they said they definitely want that walking requirement to come back when the pandemic is over. And I'm not an opponent against that. They definitely have to change the way it was before, because you needed to walk 15 kilometers per day to do your 5 sets, which is too much. I mean, Niantic's goal is to keep people moving, to get healthy. It's fine. Another story, before Pokemon Go, I weighed 280 pounds. I was really fat because I had a big shoulder injury and didn't do my sports, but kept eating. And with Pokemon Go, I started to losing weight again, and I lost 110 pounds in total, which was absolutely amazing. And I'm thankful for Pokemon Go to giving me the motivation to do it. So yeah, I'm not an opponent that we should move or walk. The thing is, not 15 kilometers per day to do our 5 sets. That's counterproductive. And we should stack our kilometers. We should be able to do that, because we could at least do walk 6 kilometers and do 2 sets, and then we had to walk again. And that would be horrible for streaming, or for everyone in total. It would be totally killing the Twitch scene, which is amazing. So if we have to, let's say, walk 6 kilometers per day, but we can stack the kilometers, and maybe if we walk 12 kilometers today, we don't have to walk 6 tomorrow, it would be perfect. I would agree with that. That's manageable, and that still hits the goal Niantic has.
Now that I 100% agree with you. And I remember when there was a debate when they said they're going to bring it back in. And I would think I was the only one. Maybe you were on there too, but I didn't know you and you didn't know me either back then. I think King posted it and I right away commented saying that I'm not against the walking, but what they had set up, I think, was completely broken, because you just cannot accomplish that. I mean, even if you can stack it up, you said, what was it, 15 kilometers?
Yeah,
That's
per
a
day.
lot. That's a lot of
That's
walking
really a lot.
there. So what you said, I 100% agree, and I hope that's okay, or at least the other option, because they want money, obviously. So if it only costs like maybe 5 to 10 coins to unlock, let's say, the last 2, that's still okay. As long as all of the sets only cost what you can gain for free, I would be okay with that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think they should just do both.
Yeah.
Give us the pay potentially, but also just let us walk. But as you said, not the 15 kilometers per day.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
mean, for hardcore grinders, it's obviously possible. We do a lot more per day. I shouldn't say we, because I'm pretty lazy right now. But in total, Niantic has to accept that we have other things to do in our life, not just playing Pogo 24/7. We have jobs, we have university, we have family, friends, and so on and so on. So they have to adapt to that. And give us a requirement which is okay to do, which we can do while we do our daily work. That would be perfect.
Yeah, and I would love that. That if you can stack up your kilometers even for the next day, that would be perfect.
Mhm.
And then one other thing I want to say, I didn't want to this I forgot what it's called in English, but I want to just congratulate you. And it's amazing that you have lost, all the weight throughout your journey here. So that's congrats on that, because that's huge.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I was really, really sporty when I was younger, but then this shoulder thing threw me totally out of my life. And I mean, it might be a good story for someone struggling with his weight, because everyone can do it. If you have it in mind, you can start. Just do your sports and eat less. I know it's really hard at the beginning, but your body will adapt as well. And if you're about losing weight, you can definitely do it. And you can also write me if you're struggling with that. Maybe I have a tip or two for that as well to make it easier.
And which shoulder was it? Just so I know, because you have got so many Pokemon. Was it because of all the throwing? Just kidding.
No, it was the right shoulder.
Yeah.
And it was a damn bad story. As I said, I was very sporty, very trained, and went to the gym 7 times per week and practiced boxing and so on. And I was young, 18, and maybe I had the aura like, oh, I'm unbeatable. Mm-hmm. And I walked down the street in the afternoon, Saturday, and a group of also young boys came to my direction, and I didn't switch the street, and they let me through and then attacked me from behind. Just out of no reason. I didn't know them, and they totally beat me. Was in the hospital three times because of the shoulder, and it was a really bad time. But yeah, I'm over it, and made my way back, and that's fine.
Oh my God, that sounds horrible, and I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm happy that you're here now and good and healthy.
Thank you.
Yeah. Before we wrap it up, I want to ask you, what is your favorite Pokemon?
Sableye.
Sableye?
It's also in my logo, and I love this small little demon. And I absolutely love that it's meta relevant in Great League. But yeah, other than that, also Ninetales is one of my favorites. I'm not as addicted to my favorites that others, but I really like these two. Also, Umbreon is cool. I have a lot of favorites, but my absolutely biggest favorite is Sableye.
And then, do you have like a weird obsession with any Pokemon? Just like who was it? I think it was Behez. Is it Behez who collects all the Pikachus or something? I think it was him. But do you have anything like that when you collect like something or one weird thing? No.
Totally not. I'm absolutely not a collector. If I need room, I will delete everything. Before GoFest this year, I deleted 250 hundos.
Oh my God.
That's not my world. I collect the things that are good.
So you're not, if you ever seen on Netflix, the new Pokemon Go journey, so you're not Go, you're actually Ash, all about battles, just like me. I'm not a collector either.
Yep.
Yeah. One last thing, man, I wanted to say too fast and I got a brain freeze, but I wanted to ask you something before we wrap it up. But either way, in the meantime, while I'm thinking of that, is there anything that you want to share to the community? Any lost messages or anything that you want to address whatsoever? You have the mic.
All right. To this community, you're just awesome. It's the best community I ever played in, and I played many more games, also at a very high level. I was known in 2 other games worldwide and so on. But this community is something special. It's so familiar. Of course, we have some drama here and there, but that's nothing that really takes up. And my wish for this community is just keep this game up, keep this community up. We might be at some point where it gets better. Just be you. Have your small drama here and there, but stay awesome as this community as it is.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you for coming on the podcast as well.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, I couldn't wait to have you. And lastly, where can people find you?
They can find me on Twitter mainly, just at TheNut93. And if you find me there, you will also find my Twitch link, which is sadly TheNut93. Because there is an account, TheNut93. I'm pretty sure it's myself, but I forgot the password. And Twitch doesn't let me change it. So yeah, these are my two platforms now.
Awesome. All right, I will link it in to make sure. And again, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you.